journey, the journey, the journey, the journey, the journey now start.
Yes.
The journey is now start. I was drifting on my lonely sea when a voice kept calling out to me. Keep on calling, calling, calling. I was shaking like a frightened child. I was shaking, shaking, shaking. Was up in the cold and I had nowhere to hide. I heard son, son, come, come, come. Don't be afraid. You just started your mission. The waters will be rough. Have faith and you will make it all the way up. 'Cause the journey now start. The journey it now start. The journey it now start. The journey it now start. Sonny, do not give up. Don't ever. You were put here to survive.
Yes.
You are in charge of your life.
Crazy.
I never look back, look ahead. I never say die till you're dead. Children, the journey knows as you travel on.
The journey it now start. The journey it now start. Welcome to episode 100 out of 100,000 of the Corey Shepherd podcast. I nearly thought I would not reach 100. It's touch and go. I tell only what I expect over the last few weeks. I tell only touch and go and then all kind of thing happening. But no matter what happened, we ain't getting on the way of the thing, you know.
You may stumble and fall,
Hear that?
but don't give up at all, no. Don't you give up. No, no, no. Do not give up. Red will smile and talk with you, yet stab you in the back. They will do anything to get you off your track. Yeah. You must fight, 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 fight. Fight with all your might. To stand up to your trials, regardless of the strain. Sometimes there will be darkness, but light will shine again. 'Cause the journey now start.
Welcome again to episode 100 of the Corey Shepherd podcast. You know where to find this now, I know, right? You can find it on YouTube every week and on all the podcasting apps. Despite popular belief, this podcast comes out every Tuesday morning. And there's a special Tuesday morning if you're listening to this on a Tuesday morning because we have made it to 100 episodes. I can't believe we reached 100, huh? Listen, this one of them episodes where this is for long-time listeners of the podcast. If you're tuning into this for the first time, I hope you tune back in next week or go back to some old episodes. Because what we usually do is talk about the little issues in the country week to week and get we little kicks and things. But this is a special episode for all the people who've been a part of this journey. One now start from the start or whenever you join on is a part of the journey and a part of this. And I'm going to tell you something. This last week was rough. This was a very long last week for me, you know. So I know where to start. All I want to start to talk about podcasting. All I want to talk about foot business. You see, the crutches on them is part of the deco now. Let's see how well deco and thing. Salute to the people at Affordable Imports. I had that right? Please tell me how the people name right. I think it's Affordable Imports who deal some camera thing and so on and so on. These fellas give me some good little advice and try to tell me, you know what I mean, what I could do differently. But in the frame here, you will see some things added. Oh God, I can't put the price of the thing out here. Boy, them women and them catch me. Let me put it that way, right? Them women and them catch me. Let me talk about my foot first before we get into 100 episode business, right? I went and I do this surgery last week. I tell all you, my Achilles is torn. Let me stop saying I bust my Achilles because Zachary's saying that now and the mother vex. So, Officially, I went on last week, Tuesday morning. I went and do the surgery by Dr. Sergey Adonin at Sinclair. Salute to Sergey. Dr. Sergey. Salute to Dr. Dylan Thomas to refer me to Sergey. Sergey's a good one. I was a little worried about the white man party and something, and I said, well, I could get enslaved with the commander anesthetic, but boy, I had to give all the surgery story. But before I do that, right? For all the people who listening to this, maybe we should just take a damn drink, but I can't get up. Normally, this is where I would pause the video and I would get up and go outside and all these things. But I cannot do that no more. A little bit, they say they have a fine line between invalid and invalid. As one of the two things. Babe, bring the bottle of thing for me in a glass. Is Zachary still up?
No, he's supposed to be done.
Check him and see now. If he's still saying, pour some for him now and come quick. Make a toast quick before I start.
Babe, I can't go on a camera, you know.
Babe, take your time and you're being recorded, so slow down. Bring the thing and bring 2 glasses and bring some for Zachary. Yeah, I recorded this. I forget this man bedtime. I can't not knock a glass with my producer, my big producer who helped me rally through 100 episodes. So I was going to talk about the surgery first, right? All you had to work with me. This is not going to be the most organized. I was going to talk about the surgery first. But then I remember I recorded this at 10 p.m. and this man's supposed to be in the bed already. So I would knock a glass with this man before I get into the couture. But in terms of 100 episodes, let me tell you what I tell you when the moment and them catch me. We planning a lime last week Sunday gone there by my mother for Indian arrival day, right? Salute to every Indian who arrived. And within the planning of this, how many bottle, man? Where's Zachary sleeping already? Oh God, that could be bad. No, he ain't gonna like that. The boy miss out on the Oh God. So yeah, telling you about this lime. No, this bottle, I'm skipping some steps here. I tell you, it's not the most organized. A man by the name of Andre Mills fly down in the Guanas. What day was that? Yesterday or day before. And drop off this bottle. It's only right to celebrate 100 episodes. Like you see that clear? Fancy thing, these boys are them little fancy, So it's only right that we do this thing the right way on number 100. You know what time I say I will fall short of 100? I'm a producer here, boy. This is my fault, I'm going to have a do-over. Because there's no way that I could bring in this in the right way without my good producer come in and take a little sip or something and knock in a glass. Babe, come quick and knock this glass. This wrong on all counts. It's 100 episodes. Will you cloak up so far? So will you cloak up so far? If you get chairs and put on your drink. There ain't nothing here done there. He's sleeping? You see, the mother didn't want to wake him up. So that moment them catch me. Having a little Indian arrival day lime. And then I come and get this injury. So my mother called me and said, well, we could do something different. We didn't have to do this again and all that. And I said, nah, don't cancel the lime. I said, by the time I do the surgery and then I come back around, I looking for the little curry to eat Indian arrival day. So fast forward to Sunday, the surgery going and then we go hear about that. I go on by mommy and we sit down. Now, you don't understand what's going on with me when I sit down, right? And you understand why these episodes so short for the next few weeks. You see, when I sit down too long, my foot getting heavy. My foot needs to be up on something or I need to be lying down right through. It's a rough time. So I studied while I'm going for this curry. And you know when man eat curry, we know what's come next. Well, always come second to last. You know what's come last, but what's come next is a sleep. So I studying all how well, where I will lie down, where I will put my foot and thing, but they sort me out right. So I go on and I get my curry and everything. And in the middle of the little lime is me, Stacy Lyman, Auntie Lois, Mommy, the normal Lyman squad, Albie, Desi. Who am I missing? Desi whole squad? Simoy and Brent. Well, I have a whole next story. And Zachary in the lime. And I see my mother with some nice little kaiso playing on 100 and some Indian arrival song and thing. Take off the radio and put on the TV and put on my podcast. And he's almost, hey, welcome to episode blah, blah, blah. I said, but who is this? You mashing up the lime? Nobody don't want to hear this. I said, but what's she putting on podcast for? Not knowing that these ladies are cake for me celebrating 100 episodes. Or let's see my 100th episode thing. I wonder if I could see that thing stick down in cake for 100 episode. I didn't even know this was a thing. And my mother give me a nice little plant. What's called this plant? A fern. A snake fern. Snake plant. There's no snake plant. We use that type of snake plant. I don't take snake plants, you just say anything you feel to say. Balloons and thing, congratulations, 100 episode. Little did they know that I had no 100th episode recorded yet. Them telling themselves I done record 100 episode. They know the 100 episode was touch and go. But it was very nice of them to do that and very moving for them to present these gifts to the king. Present this, make it into a thing and speeches and thing. You know, Stacey make a speech, Zachary make speech, my mother make a speech. I trying to hold back the tears because what I know is my eye filling up of water, but it's become my foot hanging down long because the speech of them I want it done. And my foot is hurting. But I was very grateful and I felt good in the moment to celebrate the 100th episode. And then, as I told earlier, Mills called me during the week. Mills say, boy, you're almost on 100 episodes. You know. He said, when you make the 100, I come in and drop a bottle. You know. And so said, so done. What was that, the holiday? That was Indian Arrival Day itself, the Monday? When Mills passed? You can't say yesterday and think this is being recorded on Tuesday. You can't blow my cover. The holiday, Mills passed down and drop a bottle. Not just for me, but drop a bottle for Stacey too to make sure Stacey and drink out of my bottle. And let's see what happened here. Stacey, you're going on here still, Mills? I tell her, bring the bottle you bring for we. And she could bring her own bottle and drink, but like she drinking from this. And she hanging around too. I didn't see she since about episode 7. But because there was a bottle here, she walk with that thing. She right there. Taking you know what I mean? Enjoying the spoils. But it was nice to hear, man. We listened. It was good catching up with man like Mills too, taking a lime on the holiday. And if for any reason this episode late, is because the lime with Mills was sweet. When I was supposed to be recording, I all talking and reminiscing and catching up with man like Mills. So that was the 100 episode. More missing from the 100 episode. That was it. We had the little lime. Mills passed through. That was about it. Huh? Mills promised you plans. Mills, Stacey say you promised she plans. I'm staying out of it. Moving right along. Moving further afield. Surgery. So I'm going to tell you what went on with this surgery quick, right? Before we cover. Babe, what's going on here? What happened? So this is what you lineman for. You in it for the drinks. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, they send drinks in the episodes and Stacey go lime. You see this bottle. Every time you see it move, it's not me. So yeah. Monday, I think I recorded the episode last week, Monday, knowing that I was going to do surgery and I wasn't sure if I was going to make it or was going to come out after that. So I say, you know what, let me record this episode and publish it and everything one time in case I go under the knife and it turn out dark, you know what I mean? All the time I'm studying is, you know what I mean, Russian. I don't know if it's an Aryan race thing and he go deal with me and that's the enemy. So, your boy frightened like hell. I'm going in Sinclair for 8 in the morning. They tell me I can't eat from 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't know what that is about. I guess the anesthetic or whatever. Maybe they know you had a gap to take no leak on that when it's surgery time. I don't know what the situation. But I can't eat from 2 o'clock in the morning. And I was never so hungry in a night in my long-legged life. I eaten every minute of the night. I'm frightened to sleep. But when I go on there, I must say first and foremost, I want to thank the people from Sinclair. Now, I'm talking like it's heart surgery I went under, but I don't understand how frightened I was. I want to thank the good people of Sinclair. Orderly, nurse, doctor, people who's push wheelchair, everybody trying to make the thing into the friendliest environment you could possibly experience. You know what I mean? They're trying to, I guess they know plenty of people coming in there frightened and whatever procedure you come for, you ain't going to be comfortable going in and you're sick anyway if you're there. So, boy, when I go on in now, they give me this gong to put on. And I only remember in Earthquake stand-up comedy about which direction to put this gong in. Which part had to be outside? Is the front outside or the back outside? Little did I know it's the back outside. And I can't understand why if I doing surgery on my Achilles. Anybody know which part your Achilles is? This is back almost by your heel. And why I had to lie down on my belly, my whole bottom is in the air. When the cold breeze is my butt, I say, but what is this? What kind of surgery? I'm not frightened for this Russian thing in real life. I say, but why this happening? And you put me under anesthetic and things, so me ain't gonna feel nothing. Yeah, you have me ripe for the picking. And they come and they after we do that, they wheel me into this operating room. Keep in mind that At this point, I could kind of walk, hop a little bit. I could step on the foot because once you get the injury, it's excruciating pain. But beyond that, after a couple hours, you ain't really feeling no pain. You could walk on the foot and them kind of thing. Keep in mind that some people don't do surgery for ruptured Achilles. They just let it heal, right? But they put me on this gurney now and pushing me through the thing. And you know how you see in movies or in them series when somebody going in the hospital, they's be showing you a camera shot with the lights above your head. You seen all these white lights scrolling past you. That is exactly how I feeling. And I'm watching everybody who in the waiting room in Sinclair now, them watching me. I say, but these people must be feeling sorry for me. Them know this is the end. And they can't, but thinking, again, we're straight into operating theater. But apparently they have a few beds outside the operating theater. And I'm not sure if there's people who now done get surgery or people who preparing for surgery. All I know is 8 o'clock is mine and it's 8 o'clock. So I know exactly what's going on. Then I saw the doctor who was doing it. Then I saw Dr. Adonin. And let me say to him too. He salute to him. I hear you have a good reputation and everything. And I have to second that notion or motion or whatever you call it. Because he is a good dude. He's a nice fella to be around. He trying to make it as comfortable as he could make it. Make it a little joke, you know what I mean? He explaining everything to me as he go along. But what happened with me now? I remember he told me it's local anesthetic, but he will give me something that will knock me out. And he told me I will be between very calm and sleeping. So I wouldn't be stressed out about what's going on because I studying why I had to be awake when my foot is open. It open here. And I had to be awake during this thing. I frightened like hell. I keep thinking to myself, well, what if I flinch my foot? You know what I mean? I just moved thing and he just cut away my whole. I said, well, what is this happening here? Why I had to be up during this thing? But the man keep explaining to me and he tell me, he say, all right, what they do the anesthetic is they have to look for a vein. What is this, a vein or nerve? They have to look for a nerve in the back of my knee. Now, from there I start to shake. I frightened like hell. And then they bring a man, I guess he's an anesthesiologist or whatever. And I see he and Sergey talking now and them trying to reason out thing. And I find like they're talking over me like if me and they. I say, but what fellas, all you want to involve me in this? All you need my input in anything? They started to ask me if I'm allergic to this or allergic. I say allergic to surgery. I ain't allergic to nothing else but surgery. And they've even taken me on. I tell me to turn over now, bottom back up in the air. And they put this ultrasound. Babe, what is happening? What going on here? What are we doing? They put the ultrasound thing. Mills, I feel me and Mills got to make your own lime and get your own bottle. This ain't working out. First time I see you in here so long. Since about episode 5. But anyway. When the men say they have to find and inject into a nerve, apparently that is where the anesthetic going. And that's what's going to keep your leg basically numb and dead. And you're not going to feel nothing and you're not going to be able to move your leg. I didn't know this at this point, right? But I feeling a pressure on the back of my leg. Like I'm frightened at this point. And this man ain't give me the tablet yet. He tell me to give me. And let me tell you something. That's one of the most painful injection I ever get in my life. That thing is pain. And I think it's a combination of the pain and the fear that I'm feeling because the pressure was apparently the ultrasound camera thing. I know it's called that, but that is where you put in a lot of pressure on the back of my knee or upper lower hamstring area. And apparently what he was doing was looking for the nerve. And I hear him saying, all right, nah, that's the artery. That's the artery. And I thinking, hey, that's the artery. So what he was going to do is going to inject that. Why he saying, no, that's the artery. And he's saying, you seen it there, you seen the nerve, you seen the nerve, the artery on top of the nerve. Make sure you hit the nerve. And I said, I should not be here, none of this. And then the place get quiet, like in a sniper movie. And he just say, in Russian, that man say, execute. And I don't know if he's going to execute the injection or execute me, but boy, the injection went in. And pain. And it's a weird feeling too, because when they start injecting it, you know, it's feel the pain from when it reaches skin. And then the pain from the thing going in. I know if I'm describing that right. But when he do that now, my leg feeling like it's like sparks, like I feeling everywhere in my leg that had nerves and it twitching uncontrollably. And I feeling like everything going wrong here. And from there, once that stopped twitching and thing, he was like, all right, well, we're rolling in and now, let's go. How are you feeling? I was like, what about that tablet you tell me about with the sleep? All right. This man come and bring the tablet. And I not liking this because I thinking I could have taken that tablet since I was 7 o'clock this morning, so I would have slept through all that nerve thing, and I don't have to worry about this. At this point, I am scared and stressed out. And I reach in this operating theater. And I'm not sure how much of y'all went in an operating theater before, but it's a few things that I ain't cater for there at all. Number one, I expecting that people inside there are going to be as serious, stressed out, and nervous as me. And that was not the case. When them wheel me in there, the man who pushing the thing still making a little joke and talk. I can't even hear he. And then a girl is sitting down in there, she on her phone. She texting somebody. I said, but what is this? Like, who she texting the morgue? She texting her, the undertaker. I understand what is going on. Why everybody not serious? This is serious matters. My foot going to be open shortly. And that place is ridiculously cold. Now, keep in mind, I with a nightgown with the back open, basically. They put me in a big nightie. And my bottom outside, now I'm shaking. I'm shaking from the nerve thing. But I'm shaking because the place cold. I say, but how in here so cold? Why operating theater so cold? Some of the doctors out there had to tell me. Is it that it's cold in case you're dead, you're done on ice? I don't know. And I'm frightened. And then they're telling me now, climb over from the bed on the gurney or wherever it is they push me in, onto the operating table. The operating table itself cold, I steel. At least I'm on a bed with a mattress here. And it's real thin. The thing is thinner than your body. Nobody warned me. They should tell you about these things before, when they're prepping you. They'll tell you these kind of things. So I trying to adjust myself now and fit myself into a sleep. Because I want to sleep bad, but I find like I awake. I say, but what kind of tablet this man give me here? I know I should have walked with my 2 little Tylenol multi-symptom and I would have been good. I would have knocked out already. But I not feeling sleepy and I trying to fit myself on this thing, and it's the most amount a man ever hush me in my life. A man ever hush you? When they realize you're frightened, and all Sergey, when they put the needle and I start to squirm, Sergey say, all right, hush. All right, okay, baby, don't say it. And boy, I so glad for the little man hushing. People passing and rubbing my foot. I so glad any little bit of comfort you get in there, I taking it. And the orderly now, like they realize it's water more than flowers, so they come and put blankets over me. And I was at that point, I started to feel a little better, feeling a little warm. They put 2 extensions on the table so I could put my hands. That's how thin the table is. My hand can't rest. They put 2 little hand thing. And I say, yeah, this looking like this is casket width. When they make this table here, there's just a slide in. I say, all right, okay, all right, let's see how I live here. And then Sergey come in again and he talking and he's like, yeah, you ready? You know what I mean? You might feel a little thing, but if you feel any pain, let me know. But I start to feel pain from the time he say that. And my guy opened up, and that was it. And it's only in talking over the whole procedure with Stacy after I realized that I thought I was up for the whole thing, but I was sleeping because the whole procedure lasts about an hour and a half. And I could remember maybe about 15 minutes. Now it's 15 horrific minutes because when this man make the first cut, that thing was hurting. I was like, doc. And he say, all right, 15 milligrams. And me know what he say 15 milligrams of, but I know I feel pain. And then as trying to keep my eye closed as much as possible because I tell myself I could go in there with my phone and my AirPods and I would be listening to Joe Budden podcast, so I don't have to hear nobody say scalpel, forceps. What else is asked for? Whip. You don't have forceps? Well, me no, it look like that. It feel like that to me. So when I try not to open my eye or listen, but I see a man come down now with the 15 milligrams, whatever he come with, I assume it's painkiller. And then Sergey say, all right, don't bother with that. It's just a skinny feeling. And I was like, what you talking about just a skinny feeling? All that inside, what going on? Me realize. And then he say, oh boy. He say, all right, this is, he say, there's a little bit of a problem here. And I wanted dead when he's saying that. And this man telling me, you have a lot of calcification on the tendon, You have a part of the tendon. He said this was injured maybe 3-4 years ago. And I want to say that if my Achilles injured 3-4 years ago, there's a fellow by the name of Clint who I used to play football with on St. Mary's Grounds who's listened to this podcast. And I want to say if it was injured so long ago, it's very, very likely that Clint is responsible for that injury. But we move on. We press forward. And that man telling me the thing hard like bone, and he's like, look at this. And I thinking, me looking at nobody, I started to close my eye tight now. Like, trend is close the eye tight when they frightened. My eye closed tight. You know this man get up with the piece of tendon and come wrong. He walk wrong by my face. Here, watch. Look how hard this is. And he's squeezing the tendon with one of them, you know, these scissors that like are grippers, like are nippers. He's squeezing it, and I say, but that hurts. There's part of me. Why are we doing this? Why we having conversations? Why are you talking to me? You're supposed to be concentrating. And if you up here showing me this, who in my foot? My foot just over. The girl was texting. She in my foot. What we doing right now? I say, wow, you know, I'm bad. I played cool, you know. I mean, I can't go through. That's what's going on in my mind. But it's like, yeah, all right, okay, now. Injured, wow. And then he say, when he gone back and sit down now, he say, well, maybe that's the end of your football career. I said, doc, no problem. All I want to do is finish this piece of surgery. Let me take a drink because this thing bringing back bad memories, and at the rate Stacy drinking here, I ain't going to. So when he said that, I said, all right, the football done. I kind of was making up my mind towards that anyway, because I'm not going through this injury a second time. Although now I don't play with Clint again, so I'm safer. But we going down the this is the thing. Where you find it? Stacy now bring the piece of tendon for me. But I can't take it out of this and show them. It big is it's nearly about an inch high. Big, it's an inch big. so the man said my football career done. I said, but what is this really, boy? But I ain't paying it no mind. He said, but if you want to play football, I could take piece of tendon from by your toe and attach it back. But I think to myself, like, I need to. I said, why is this man talking? No. I said, no. I said, doc, no. In my mind there, right? I want this man to close back up my foot and let me go back in the little room, Hilton, not Hilton, but what the place name? Sinclair. Charge me at Hilton rate. Must be $3,000 for the room, for the day. I went till 8 o'clock in the morning. What time we leave, babe? About 12? Yeah. I put out that cost about that $3,000. Salute to Sinclair. But this man telling me take piece of thing from by my toe, all I studying, but you had to cut somewhere else. You didn't give me the 15 milligrams, you know, promised me. I said, no, brother, I done with the football. It's okay, no problem. I finish. And we went ahead. Now, after I do my research, after I realized, like, you don't have to make no next incision or nothing. There's a tendon that also passing there, and they use that on strength. But I don't like how that saw. And then he telling me, he said, well, sometimes when they cut the tendon, it's 50-50. Sometimes your toe could still move, sometimes it don't move. I said, but what the hell is this? So my Achilles working, my big toe can't move. Not more than so good. But when I look at it online, it was saying that you don't lose any function of your foot when they cut that tendon, and it's a good thing to do to strengthen the Achilles for later on in life. But I just find that I should not have to make that decision on the operating table. I was under duress. And I don't know why they was asking me these questions and asking me to make these decisions. But listen, the next memory I have after all that is the man say, all right, Corey, you're done. And to be honest with you, I didn't even know he wrapped back my foot and he put back splints on my foot and all that. That's to show you how altered I was. So other than the blue tablet that we know about that we want and may all need at some point, I want some of them blue tablets were knocking you out cool. Anybody know what is that? Anybody in the medical profession listening know what is that blue tablet? Hey, babe, you go ahead, right? You just drink. So your heart's content. You just keep drinking. Just know that the next one is mine now. So that was the story of the surgery. The surgery was successful. Thanks again to Dr. Adonin. Thank you to everybody in Sinclair who make that into as comfortable as experience as I could get. And that has been the experience with Sinclair every time I went back. Just to change the dressing or just to go back. The orderlies, what is called the people who push the wheelchairs? I call them orderlies. Yeah, they're very nice, and you know what I mean? Although the girl was wearing a Badman Clarks, the girl who was seen about many things was wearing a gangster wallabies. She was very, very nice, and she realized I was nervous, so she tried to talk to me and thing in the little operating place till the doctor, which I appreciated that. So salute to Sinclair. Although, to be honest with you, I really shouldn't say this, but every time I go in Sinclair, I study how they done away with Andre Tanker. Every time I read Sinclair, I study that. But I get very good treatment in Sinclair up to that time. I ain't going to tell you about how they try to duck me a couple grand by checking me into emergency when I tell them many, many times that I was there to see Dr. Sergey about the orthopedic surgeon, but them trying to check me in. But that is what it is. The surgery is over. Thank God for that. And I am in And the 8-week period, this is pretty much the end of week 1. And what I'll tell you is this, right? There's a guy on YouTube who ruptured his 2 Achilles tendons at 2 different times. And about last year or so, he ruptured the second one. First one was playing basketball, second one was playing tennis. But what he did is he documented his journey week by week. Kind of telling you like what to expect, what's the things you need to have at home, how to set up your thing, how to go in the bathroom, how to come out. The simplest things, because to bathe now is a process. Because I can't get this thing wet. And it's a scene. But this one here, she want to sponge me off. And I'm telling her, listen, the day she sponged me off, the episode before that one will be the last podcast episode ever. I'm not taking no sponge off in these sheets. Never. That's not happening. When I get sponge off, insurance time. We're gonna collect. I'm gonna get a lot of them blue pill when it's sponge off time. Not the good blue pill, the one that Sergey gave me. So, what's talking about again now, you mean? Yeah, every little thing you do is a task. And because that guy documented it and is so helpful in like basically buying a little thing to sleeve up your foot so you could go in the bathroom. It's just a lot of help and every week and a lot of encouragement too, because he himself telling you how depressing it could be, and you're down because you can't work, you can't move about like normally, depending on people. Of course, it's my right foot and I can't drive, I would do my right foot to make it just that much more exciting. I decided I will try my best every week to document a little bit of what I going through with this too. So if you're going through any of the major injuries, always sports people, right? Your ACL, MCL, meniscus, Achilles, whatever the thing might be, those types of injuries that have you out for a long time, I'll try to document it as much as possible to let you know. So what I could tell you is that week 1 post-surgery is a painful week. The pain getting progressively less every day. And what we prescribe from is Panadol, basically Olfen, and Tramadol. I don't know if I'll ever take Tramadol before, but Tramadol that is heavy stuff to me, right? Keep in mind that multi-symptom and thing is hammy loopy. And he basically said that with the 3, he say if you're in plenty pain, take all 3. He said if you're in a little bit of pain, don't take the Tramadol, take the other 2. And if you're in mild pain, just take the Panadol. And of course, if you're in no pain, don't take nothing. And that was basically the instructions. And I'm going to tell you something, you're going for that Tramadol now. Because when that pain start coming on post-surgery, you can't function otherwise. Yeah, you need to find them tablets and take them tablets and lie down still till them things start to work. And every day getting a little better where the pain is concerned, and I could move around. I started to get used to the crutches a little bit. And this little same chair sitting down on here is my little home wheelchair. I figure out a way to wheel around the house in this so I could just like to get food. You got to make up your mind to get up to go to get food. Because the first day I went to the crutches and I put food in the microwave. And I stand up with the crutches now when the microwave finished and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get back to the table to eat. It ain't happening. So, oh yeah, Stacy now home. Stacy is taking up the role of carrying Zachary to school every day. So she's on that highway every day, going down by the Corbies and Lyman whole day while I struggle home here. But she makes sure to tell me to tell you that so that it don't look like if she ain't doing one thing here when she home, as if when she home she's be doing a whole set of things. You know what I mean? I'm going to take a drink for that. Yeah, so I'll keep you posted as to what happened. This week I'm going back to him to hopefully get a walking boot. And I'm not sure. I think I'm supposed to start walking on the foot at that point in time. And I'll let you know if I'm on crutches still. Hopefully it's much, much better by then. But that's the story. And them 2 things tie up together and the order is gone completely haywire. But I want to play this one that my mother points out to me in celebration of this 100th episode. You know she's a woman, no calypso. So take this one in.
Toronto to San Fernando. Everybody planning to jump from Juve morning till the very, very last band pass. Hey, it's total mass, eh? Sweet calypso jamming down by Salvatore. Masqueraders flamming in a blaze of glory, prancing through the city, wailing free and easy. Celebrate with we the 100th anniversary. It all began on that blessed day when Massa Man took his chains away. Free at last from the plantation, Lord, it was mass all over the land. Beating box and dustbin, dress up in Massa old clothing.
Yes.
Waving sticks and branches, now the circumstances generate a happy state. It is great, we go celebrate with time in all its glory, raging through the city, tenors ringing sweetly, bass to drive you crazy, joy and jubilation, this joyous occasion, celebrate with me the 100th anniversary.
100th anniversary. So yeah, they had big celebration for me. I like that. I enjoy that. And listen, this week, there are some things in the news now. I'm going to run through about 5 news stories in 5 minutes and then get back to the celebration. Plenty things to celebrate this week. One story that I see that wasn't celebratory at all was once again the shootings in the States in schools with young children. And I make a post this week and I was saying that, listen, anything, they would do anything but discuss their appetite for guns in the States. And I think the discussion had to come to the forefront for us to move past this and see something different, because there are so many different reasons. One, salute to my guy Naldo, who was telling about his own theory. I wouldn't talk about his theory because hopefully we could debate that someday. But I understand what he meant. The gun is not the issue. The gun is not the cause of the problem. And he's right. The cause of the issue had to do with something with why young white men in particular, this one was not a white fellow, but young white men in particular feel like if they need to spray up the place. And some theories that out there is marginalization. Some theories is people looking for attention. One of my theories is that they're growing up these children too soft and they don't know consequences of actions and those types of things. But it's almost like this. Typically, when you look at things, right? Okay, so look at the Achilles as an example. It's going to take me 8 weeks just recovering from surgery and recovering from the injury. And then probably 6 months in total before I could walk on my own, right? Now, when he talk about this little hardened, whatever the thing is, hardened, calcified parts of my tendon, that didn't happen overnight. He's saying I get injured more than 3 years ago. When he see that, he said, boy, that would have probably snapped at some point. It was bad, you know what I mean? Somebody tendon down by the heel was bad. He cut out that and all. So it's like those things degenerate over time, and then they will take a long time to heal. I don't see the situation in the States as much different. It would have degenerated over time, because when we were growing up, we never hear about this mass shooting thing in the States where a man just getting a gun and spray up the schools. And the attitude towards guns in the States, I don't know if it changed significantly from the 80s and 90s to now. But the issue is this. Something in the society changed that making young men do this on too frequent a basis. And I'm saying too frequent because, of course, Fox News and anybody who's talking about this could tell you that, yeah, it's just one-off situations. The media blow it up. That's why, yeah, but one is too many. This is little elementary school children. There's a school teacher who killed, and then a husband get a heart attack days after, leaving 4 children behind. So my theory is this. Okay, the Republicans basically don't want to discuss gun control, and the Democrats don't want to discuss the causes for these kind of things, which might come from some of the same liberal or woke ideas that they're pushing. And this is where I can't understand why both sides can see each other. It's such a PNM UNC thing to me. It's like nobody Nobody don't want to come and discuss what the real issue is. They just want to say that the suggestions you're making would not work anyway. And I say, well, what are you doing and working? And you're changing laws. And I don't know that laws has helped people with much. I think what we have to address is the culture, the gun culture in the States, because everybody being armed against the government is a fallacy. Because what government, any one of these people who armed or any group of these people who armed, like Tiger King and them, who them could fight? Which militia could fight the U.S. military? I hardly have an army in the world that could fight the U.S. military. All they're trying to tell me that if you get everybody a Glock 19, that would stop the government from controlling the place. The U.S. government have nuclear weapons. So I don't know where this notion come from that if we get enough AR-15 and AK-47, we could defend ourselves against the government. That's rubbish. The average citizen cannot defend themselves against no government and no army. You see it many, many times internally there and how many different countries they invade, who will then fight our military. But beyond that, if it is you feel like you need to defend your home, you need to be able to hunt, you need to defend yourself from the government and so on, the suggestion that I would make is review the types of weapons that you make available for people, number one. And then I hear a man say something on, I can't remember the fella name, to be honest, but that man say, it's some kind of pig he call it, boy. I can't remember what the man called it. Let me say like it's a wild pig he talking about. He said that wouldn't need the AR-15 for when you had doing them wild pig, you had to be able to shoot. And I'm like, listen, New York had none of that. You understand? If you're in middle America and you need that is one. But you could tell me that anybody could just access this AR-15 or these rifles. I don't know how it making sense. So if you could address the types of weapons that people could apply for, the amount of weapons that people could apply for, and then the state of mind of the people. So everybody's saying it's a mental health problem. Okay, good. A mental health problem not going to get fixed overnight. They're going to take a long time to get sorted out. There's plenty therapy and plenty interventions and all those types of things, and maybe medication and all, and identifying these people, which would be hard to do when you have mental issues. Or addressing what happened in the home is a lot of layers to that. So I just suggested, well, okay, so in the meantime, because a lot of these guys who do this on police watch lists already for the things they post online and so on. So why not make it a little harder for some of them to get guns? Because I think if you're legit and you want your weapon to legitimately shoot wild pigs, why not go through these steps? If they have more steps, how that affecting you? Wouldn't you also want the people who mentally unstable to not be able to have guns? I'm not sure why people are unwilling to have that discussion, but that is what it is. I say I'm going through all this in 5 minutes, right? So I saw Trudeau also saying he done with guns. No more gun can sell, no more gun can transfer. Salute to Trudeau. I prefer a society, and I know I'm talking utopian here, where nobody don't need no gun because nobody don't have no guns. But of course, where the illegal gun trade so strong, you're going to have a problem getting away with that. But Trudeau and them seem to have made this step. So waiting to see what how they move past this. And I also saw, of course, with the same thing I'm talking about with wokeness. I saw Rich Eisen, Jamie Foxx, Steve Kerr fall out. Steve Kerr get mad talking about basketball. He ain't talking about basketball. He want to talk about the children and so on. And I just wonder how many of those impassioned pleas you will have next week or week after. I remember Obama crying on stage whenever some people... I don't know. Them platitudes don't mean much when your child went through that. And one of the funny things that they talk, well, not funny, but they're saying now is that Sandy Hook, which would have been one of the biggest mass shootings. Think about this. The people who were in Sandy Hook, like the students who went through or survived that mass shooting, they are of age now to have children in elementary schools. Think about how long a problem we've been having. That means whether it's the attitude towards guns, is marginalization of males, is how you're bringing up the children, is whatever this situation is, it means that a generation passing and it's still not getting addressed. So salute to Trudeau for taking a stance on it. I hope the US start to make a move to take a stance on it, a firm stance at some point in the near future, so that we could just see a couple less of them things. You know what I mean? I would love to see it eliminated from what we had to see on the news, and the one with the guy in New Jersey was so bad. And a part of me want to say why Steve Kerr wasn't crying when that thing happened in New Jersey, But I understand why it is with the little trend that gonna pull more heartstrings, and it was just sad to see. I see one fellow doing that interview talking about him being a first responder, and he found out his daughter was dead because he had a little girl completely covered in blood who was telling him her best friend died. And when he found out the child name, he realized that's his daughter's best friend. I mean, like, why we had to go through this as a society? But as that, in other news, another 5-minute news segment, the economy, some things in the economy here are starting to show. We just come out a week where a man say the economy growing and we looking good. You know what I mean? Much better than we expected. And in that same week, they offer people over 8 years, I believe it is 2%. They hope the people go on mad. Nobody ain't taking that 2%. People rise up. I'm surprised Watson Duke wasn't much more vocal about this and coming and march with people and so on. But they didn't need no Watson. They didn't need no Philip Alexander. They take to the streets. What the man named the CPO? Boy, they take to he. They say, boy, you making $50,000 a month and you want to give me 2%. Them false parallels don't really add up at all, because listen, when you gotta pay a man $50,000 a month, you could be, from this treasury, you could pay forever. But when they're talking about the amount of $1 billion, even the 2% increase costs the taxpayer in back pay as well as in recurring expenses going forward. I find like very few people, as I was saying last week, talking about the fact that this is likely to increase in the long run or in the medium term our own tax burden. So when we being asked to pay more taxes, like these things don't really work. So you give people that increase, people calling for 15%. You give people a 15% increase in a society that have the same amount of goods selling. It will just create inflation because the government is still the biggest employer. So it means more of the consumer class just get 15% more money. That means courts is going to get money. People going and buy big TVs and big stereo and so on. And then, what's going to happen eventually is all the prices will go up, and in 2 years' time, we're complaining that everything going up and the money ain't going up again. It's a cycle. What we have to address is what we're doing as a society to make more productive things. As I was saying last week, people in private sector, if you had to make more money, you had to figure out how to contribute more to your company, or get a next job where you could bring in 2 incomes and them types of things. But we seem comfortable with the idea of not aligning any growth of the economy with the growth of public sector salaries and the growth of the public sector itself, because we hire more and more and more people. And the service, I saw a man say, all right, well, what we could do, we could agree. There's a regular comment on Facebook, right? He's saying, all right, well, let we agree to pay the public servants 15% now. But when we get them the 15%, let we demand that we get 15% better service in the public healthcare system, 15% better service in the government buildings. The man making some sense, at least with the extra money that we are being asked to pay public servants, the average taxpayer is being asked to pay. The least we could do is say, well, all right, you know what I mean? Let we make this thing more efficient, let we make it better, let we make it friendlier, more accessible and all these things. But I mean, hopefully that's what they're asking for. When they ask for 15%, that is exactly what they have in mind. So back to celebrations.
We go, Travis. I feel like to sing. 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 Sing happy birthday to you.
You threaten me, no?
Sing happy birthday to you. Sing happy birthday. Sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to. One more time, let me go. Sing happy birthday to. Oh my God! Happy birthday to you. Sing happy birthday. Sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
So it's a special happy birthday to our podcast listener, a faithful one by the name of Janelle Cash. Happy birthday to you. She turned 50 today. And she threatened me all how to tell me, since episode 90, I can't miss a week just to make sure that the 100 line up on today. So it's a happy birthday to
Happy
you.
birthday to you. Sing happy birthday to you. Sing happy birthday. Sing happy birthday. Happy birthday.
And listen, she don't drink, you know, but as we only had to take a drink with me, you know, I forget to say that part. As we taking a drink, we had to take a drink to Janelle's birthday. So you light up so as you here taking a drink. It's young green alcoholics here, you know. Don't take a cheers, Janelle's birthday. I hope she get Cash a little bang ping. A little bang ping, bang, ping, bang. Janelle line up Cash and tell him I say he want a bang, ping, bang, ping, bang, ping, biduga dung ding, dunga dung dunga. That's how it go? Yeah, I had to keep my foot still right now. It's pain. So it's my sister's birthday, a loyal and long time listener to the podcast. And because of that, I can't just play a happy birthday for her. You know. She's a woman like certain things and I had to make them things happen. Cash out to go low, you know. Cash can be standing up tall for this song, you know.
Baby, I see you as a queen, a love that's made for me, yeah. Baby, when you put on your crown, I kneel down to the ground, girl. See when you step out into the light and your body looking right, no constellation in the sky could ever take your shine. I'll travel a million miles just to look up on your smile. Baby, look up to the clouds right now. Say it to me, I will be around for the entire night. See, baby, while I'm close, I'll be here by your side. You're doing things to me that I cannot deny. The way you're looking, girl, you are so certified. Cut me back one time when you give me that
Fast wine, fast wine, fast wine. Fast wine, fast wine, fast wine. When you're old like the hill, you have to take a little slow wine. Giving the fast wine, fast wine, fast wine. You can't make no fast wine, fast wine, fast wine. That time, pass wine. So happy birthday and salute to my sister, Janelle. Enjoy your birthday. You get one Marshall. This is not a whole Marshall episode. You get one Marshall for your birthday. Happy birthday to you. And listen, as I hear in that fast wine there, as I studying here, how I can't go dirty. This thing on my mind, you know. Baby, feel like boot could take Juve powder and water and paint and them thing. You feel so? I'm going to talk to Sergi. I wonder if Sergi knows a Juve party. When I go by the surgeon this week, I'm going to ask him, what day is dirty? You know the date? Yeah, you moving slow. Right now, the liquor got you complicated. If I could find out when dirty is, I could make a final decision. Because, see, a lot of people in watch Bacchanal Road weekend gone there. What the next thing named Tailgate? People was fetting extra board. I didn't think nobody would studied me if I go to them little crutches. Because everybody crutches was outside in Bacchanal Road. I wouldn't be the only person walking with crutches because crutches was on display in Bacchanal Road and Tailgate. It's everybody extra board. So I know how this working neither because what I'm watching is the Salute to Caesar's Army, a successful party. I don't know who do Tailgate. What was the boat ride? They say might be school and them? Biatch. Now they say might be a boat ride for what used to be soccer committee or wow committee or whatever it is. Everything looked successful and everything looked like it was happening and things swinging and everybody was having a great time except me, who is home watching reruns. I am giving a PS5 serious consideration along with Grand Theft Auto and a FIFA to just keep my sanity over these next few weeks. I will let all you know how that go, but I don't know if I get a PS5 episodes are in jeopardy officially. It could get dark fast. And I forget about the good old Xbox. If the Xbox more available and cheaper than the PS5, I'm going to get that. But people in 100% fet mode. So I had to go and see what I could really do if I could come out in the dirty. Because dirty is a truck something, right? I must get up on a truck. Somebody must put me on a truck for dirty. Or they can't treat me so rough. But in the midst of all that, I'm trying to figure out how much I will enjoy a fet. Because when I go dirty, it's fet season, right? And the last time we went dirty, we had a time. Me and Stacey alone went down and we had a time and a half. We know how we reach home. Salute my guy Dwayne Bourne, who come and bring me home. We know how we reach home. All we know we're in front of the gate. Salute to him. But that is when you're in fet season, carnival time, is straight soca playing. When we reach inside dirty, I start to hear, when we're looking for a drink truck now, because unfortunately, when we went dirty, we went Bacchanal Road a few weeks before and we did not enjoy it. I see some people complaining about Bacchanal Road too. The big strong man Wilkinson say, all this to the rigmarole to get ticket and he fed flat. The man was upset. I think he deletes all them things though, because I'm sure you get phone calls when he posts them things. But guys, to be honest, I didn't enjoy Bacchanal Road. It was on my birthday. And I accustomed one thing. I just go fet me and Stacey alone and we be having a time. We don't need no squad. So when we go on that Bacchanal Road, I say, but like we lost, we touch, but like we can't fet together again. I never, at no point, I feel like I was enjoying myself. And one of her girlfriends was there too. 2 for the price of 1. And I still can't enjoy myself. I just feeling like if it ain't happening. And the way, one of the issues I had with it is they have all these trucks going down to a dead end in Brian Lara Stadium to turn back. And it's just a whole sort of congestion. And then I ain't feeling safe. I feeling like I can't breathe. It's like it was terrible. And then we going dirty now. So when I go in dirty, I tentative. I walk in and I say, boy, we lost you, Mojo. We can't fet by ourselves. I got to see who else I see. We link up with some kind of crew. And as soon as we walk in, because I say, baby, what's going on? Let me go and find a bar one time. But one of the problems with Bacchanal Road is so much people buy them drink truck, you cannot get a drink in good time. I ain't sure if it changed now. But when we were walking dirty, before we could reach by a bar to take a drink, I started here. I had some stress. And I take some shots. And I want that take, it really hit the spot. And when I watch is Mr. Killer on a truck done performing, pick up something already, we forget drink truck and go on by that truck and had a time. By the time we reach drink truck, we thirsty. And in no time at all, we drunk like fish. You know what I mean? So salute to the people who doing dirty. And I see this here is stink and dirty. But when I go a fet, I like to hear soca whole night. And the soca fet in particular, that is SOAK, right? When they used to do it in Shagaramas, last time we did it was in Savannah. And then they have the Soca Street Festival on a Carnival Sunday morning. At some point in them fets, they will play a little dancehall on a little rap. Every year they do it, but it don't last 10 minutes. They just run through some popular songs fast. And the dancehall is not really nowadays dancehall. They will play a little XO. And it's coming nice in the mix there. But I'm not sure how I feel about going to a party that I feel is a fet and listening to Young Brother whole night. Bend down where you push back, baby. Bend down where you push back, baby. Bend down where you push back, baby. You better keep that, baby. Nah, I feel I go like 5 minutes of that. And like a rocking chair and rocking the. I mean, I could take the little vibes for a minute or two, but I can't take that whole night. If I go dirty, I want to hear 99% soca. So when the young brother come in, it's supposed to be hot. I don't think I reach an age where, and my Achilles telling me this too, it's not just the tendon hardening. Everything about me hardening. I stiff like board. I can't stay in no fet whole night and hear them sing them kind of song and enjoy myself. I think I know myself good enough. If it's fet mode, and then I hear a little young brother kick in, and it's singing good. Our little Trinidad come down from the baby. That was song nice in the mix. But I'm not going nowhere to hear them sing whole night. All who went skeng. I can't, long time. If I was them fellas age now, if I in my 20s or in my late teenage days, I would 100% be in Skeng. Me and Damien Rowe would be up in Skeng jumping in. When Skeng jump in that pool, all of we was jumping in the pool. If you don't know Skeng, if you know, you know, right? But I can't take that for a whole night, you know. I good for that for about 5 minutes. Even if I home here, I could play 1 or 2 young brother, and that's about it. I ready to wrap up that and play some music where I could sap my knee too properly, and where I could pop my foot and don't feel no pain. So the jury out on that a little bit, but I do like the fact that it seems as though we come across an August festival, a July, what you want to call it, May, June, July festival. It proven to you that, and maybe it's a bad example, to be honest, because it might just be the case because people missing fest and people didn't go nowhere for Carnival. But I kind of feeling like if, let me say they have a Bacchanal Road for Carnival and then they have a Bacchanal Road in the, call it the summer, right? For lack of a better term. I think it will sell. What do you think, baby? You think people continue, if Carnival come back out, you think people will still go dirty in the summer and everything? I feel so. Especially when you see Bacchanal Road is heavy posing and it's Monday wear and who had to go by and get a face beat. I just want to say a special salute and shout out to Sadie Shepherd. Because his extra board in the Bacchanal Road is all out. I tell you, me alone on crutches, and crutches is everywhere. But I like the idea of having a little mid-year thing. I don't know if I go partake in it, to be honest. I good for one carnival a year. I don't want to do more than one carnival a year. But I think it could be good for the promoters and for everybody involved. And then I see an article in the Express too. This is from nobody, just the Express. As planning for this year's Carnival in Tobago gets further underway, top NCC officials met with the Honorable Farley Augustine, Chief Secretary and Secretary of the Division of Finance, Trade and Industry in Tobago House of Assembly. The meeting was convened to discuss some of THA's sought-after objectives and to offer support, if necessary, in hosting the event scheduled for October 28th to 30th. Taking place in the main... Well, that's what happened. Them fellas meet, so THA meeting with NCC. Now, not the two most modern bodies you've ever heard about, right? But what I feel they should do, you know my theory on this. Salute Kyrie people as well. As I say, October, they have... I believe it's breakfast is for Miami Carnival or Runaway. I know which one they have in, but I see they advertising Miami Carnival. If I could run away, I go run away. But say the way to Bacchanal Road if you're going Miami Kyrie people thing, right? Just say. I know you're smarter than that. So I find what they should do. Let me put it out there that I like the idea of a Tobago Carnival as a option and competitor to Trinidad Carnival. So I'm not saying what we do in February, we move it to Tobago. What I'm saying is identify a spot in the calendar where we can have a Tobago Carnival that attracts tourists here, just like Trinidad Carnival would attract them. Now, I know Tobago has some infrastructural issues and some things to change and some room nights that they need to add and all those things, transportation, venues and all those things. But I like the direction that Farley and them going in and meeting with the NCC, who has a lot of experience in putting these things together to determine what would a carnival package look like for Tobago and how could we make that marketable globally, because Tobago is a better destination for a carnival than Trinidad. So when you're in Tobago, let's assume we had something called Sandals and they had several other resorts like Riu and all these I forget the name of some of them now. Iberostar. And you had a lot of those mega resorts or very big resorts in the same way that Barbados have some smaller versions of that. St. Lucia has a lot of them. Jamaica might be the biggest in terms of how many of the resorts that they have. If you have something like that going on there and you could package a flight, your fetes, your cruise coming into Scarborough and you're staying on a cruise ship like what was supposed to happen last year Carnival, and you do a vibesy Carnival in Tobago. It ought to be exactly what we do here in terms of a Dimash Grad, this or that, a road march, but you make it into something, because I always felt like that's one of the things that would make Jamaica Carnival very attractive, because they have more flights going there, they have more hotels to stay in, and they have more things to do outside of the Carnival than Trinidad. Now, Trinidad Carnival is an immersive event. when you come here for carnival, one could argue that you don't want to do anything else but be in the carnival where you could have 3 fetes a day. No, very few people could rival us on that, right? Like what our last week of carnival looks like. Few people could rival that. Like I hear somebody talking about Miami Carnival and saying, yeah, Miami Carnival nice, but you think about Trinidad is when you're in Trinidad, everybody in carnival mode, no matter where you go, everybody now come from a fete or go in a fete. People's skin still have paint, it have a whole energy. When you go in fete in Miami Carnival, man going to work, nobody in studying you, you know, Uber, you alone excited about this fete that you're going to. You a drop in the bucket of what happening over there. So if you could make Tobago like that, where they have a bunch of other things to do. You have your Island Pool, your Bucco Reef, and then you have a little fete in No Man's Land, a little Scarborough fete, something up in Charlottesville side. I think it could be a nice vibe and a nice energy, and I'm hoping that more people could be involved rather than just NCC and THA meet. I think you might want to meet with the biggest stakeholders in Carnival. As I always say, the big businesses going to help you get there. As much as we like to vex with them, the tribes and the Caesar's Army and the Kyrie people and the Scorch and whoever the bigger promoters, the Air Committee, the private sector is going to drive any industry that you have, or who should, in my opinion, drive any industry that you're trying to promote. So it would be wise of these two bodies when they work out the thing and they say, well, all right, October is a good day. Before they put that down in stone, they should go to these people and say, all right, we're looking at this time frame. What we put in place for you is X, Y, Z. We want you all to do this. And then ensure that through Farley, you have some Tobago promoters so you can have some genuine Tobago events. You don't just want the corporate, let me call Kyrie and them the corporate people, right? It's just only corporate people to come over and make a version of a Trinidad Carnival. You also want some domestic promoters. So I know Sean Winchester does a fete all the time. Dwight York has his fete. So you take some promoters and a lot of smaller promoters as well who might not have that big name. And you put them in the mix so that you have enough events going on, thing for youths, thing for older people, you have a tent, whatever the elements might be. I really hoping they pull this off because I would like to be in Tobago when something like this going on too, and it's a major tourist attraction so that it just brings out a vibe and a different thing to do on the calendar. Now, as we've done on Tobago already, right, I tell you there's a celebratory and congratulatory. Speech getting complicated and all. I know now this episode nearly done. But this is an episode of celebration and congratulations. So next man I want to congratulate is a man who's a long-time listener to this podcast by the name of QB. I know him as Quenstel. You know him as Quenston Benjamin. I see the man make a post. The man is officially not Tobagonian no more. All this Tobago Carnival talk. The man is officially a U.S. citizen now. Congratulations to you and the family and everybody over there. And you see, these is the reasons I'd be very concerned about these people shooting up thing and thing in these places, you know. Because we little Trinidadians and Tobagonians who run away, who went illegally, who went legal, who get sought out, who married people. This is not QB, yeah, but who married people so they could stay. We are people like that. So why the hell we must be going through things when we get things sorted out? You in a school now and somebody come and shoot up the school. But nevertheless, congratulations to my boy QB, a U.S. citizen. And I want to play this song for you, my brother.
This is Caribbean Vibes.
Dear Tobago, the land of my birth, which foreigners don't know. I passed through depression and starvation to be where I am in my profession. So Tobago, I am thankful to you. I wouldn't be ungrateful. I say thanks, thanks, thanks. I thank me mother, me school teacher, me neighbor, me brother and me sister. So you see, Tobago, I thank thee. 4-year screen of Calypso. I am not forgetting Barataria, the place where I grew with my adopted mother. I can't forget my fans who support me in my profession. I say thanks, thanks, thanks. And to the Baptist religion who gave me so much wisdom, glory be, I thank thee. The Prime Minister I cannot make absent, who took me safely through independence. And I cannot forget the mighty Sparrow, he established my name through Calypso.
This is Caribbean
I
Vibes.
thank all the musicians who play my Calypso on brass and pan. I say thanks, thanks, thanks. And to the nation, to an esteem for making me the road march queen. So you see, I thank thee.
Yeah, so listen, QB, behave yourself in the people country. Yeah? A man said, don't go there trying to shoot Martin Luther Gandhi. One day I will get that song, right? As we leave, as we depart, just pretend it's 2 hours, right? I'm a foot hat in. Salute to Real Madrid. And last Champions League I thought was La Decima. Me realize I already reached 14. Salute man like Barney, Sheppy, Wayne, Shepherd, all these real Madrid fans. All right, man like Naldo. All right, okay, all right. All they get through in life. I just want to say, Chelsea, we find new ownership and we looking to buy people and so on. I hear Lewandowski in the mix. So Chelsea should be a whole different team and a much better team next year. And I choose the worst possible time to go and damage my foot. Because Premier League done, Champions League done, NFL done, CPL start. So I had to find something to do with my time during this little period here. And I tell you, some money could jump out for a PS5, you know. I wonder if I should just buy a PS4 and behave myself. I really buying a PS5 because it's the latest thing available, you know. But them PS5 expensive and they're hard to get. Listen, I'm getting out of here. I'm playing one more song because my sister is a Marshall lover. So I couldn't just leave her with one. So as much as I play one of her favorite, I feel I had to play one of my favorite too.
Hey. Hey. Double M. With the gal and them. Bring the gal and them. Watch this. Hey. You gal over there. Time to make a movie. Say you gal over there. Let we make a movie. You gal over there.
I can't shake up too much on my foot.
You gal over there. 1, 2, 3, action. Bend over. Showtime. Bend over.
Wait now, you could drink alcohol when you're taking tramadol. I now catch myself here, I just sipping on this thing here.
Bend over. Give me the blockbuster. No, don't pon the ground. Showtime. Pon the ground. Showtime. Showtime. Hey, take out your camera, put on your flash, make them gal know say them ain't no match. And when you pass through, them have to watch. Cause when you're whining, Lord, make up your face and frown. Show them you run town. Make up your face and frown. Show them you run town. Make up your face and frown. Drop down on the ground. Make up your face and frown. Lord, hey, you got over there. Time to make a
You know, that thing, I don't think Marshall's so very good for my heart rate right now. I'm not sure that I should be drinking this, man, bringing nasty here. I forgot medication. I don't drink this whole bottle. Well, let's see how much Stacey drink. I drink a little piece, but Stacey, she was going a little hard. But on a serious note, 100 is something to celebrate. I'm not very good at stopping and smelling the roses, let me tell you. I remember graduating from UE and not wanting to go to grad because as far as I'm concerned, I done pass all the courses and on to the next thing. While we focused on the 100th episode, I focused on the 1000th episode and what we're going to do for the next 900 to keep this thing going and keep this thing growing. But I really appreciate my mother and Stacey for coming together and forcing me to stop and just appreciate, smell the flowers, enjoy the fact that this thing starts real different from how it's going now and it's going to continue to get different and better as we go along. Because it starts out of, I guess, like mommy said, during a COVID time where people was home doing nothing, people looking for some kind of entertainment, some kind of bright side to what happened. So much happened during COVID. Now there's monkeypox. There's so much that we could get down for that I kind of wanted to look forward to something that I could get up for regardless of what happened during the course of the week. I could come here and connect with people, and the response to it from episode 1 to me, it was overwhelming in terms of the amount of people that listen and the amount of feedback I get, and it make me more connected to people who I would not talk to for a long time, who are friends and the wings and stuff. Swazet comes to mind, me and Swazet will always be friends, but we don't talk often, I don't see her often. The way I stay connected to Swazet is just mention her name when I meet random people and they know her too. But to get feedback from her so early out, somebody like Natalie Carruth comes to mind, who I didn't even know used to listen to this thing and start tuning in very early and getting my feedback, like what's songing good, what, you know what I mean? You could try this, you could talk about this. Or sometimes Natalie might just message me, well, I want to hear where you're coming with this during the course of the week, So keep me sharp and keep me honest about covering all the issues. And it's something I really, really appreciate. And also to people who I just never meet and start listening to this podcast, like Cassius comes to mind, who is so encouraging. Like Cassius just do thing, you know what I mean? Just share thing. And why terrible at doing it, making little clips. I'm going to do better in the next 900 episodes, right? But he's pull all the clips and just give feedback. And, it's like you meet somebody new, you have a new colleague, a new friend you could call and talk some fatigue about how much you're spending on Apple products. And listen, I just want to let it be known with all this slander about Windows. Let it be known that this is just a case on this thing, and we don't play. Somebody tell me the other day, you downgrade from an Apple to a thing. Let me just catch myself in these streets, right? Let me not be fast here. I just like to protect my stuff with a little case so let me don't get out of hand. But, Cassius sounds be a good fellow who I could get talk about spending. I hope your wife listening. Hundreds of thousands of dollars in Apple equipment almost every month. I don't know how much she's charging people to do them photo shoot on them. But we form a nice little community here. And as Mills was telling me when he was here the other day, he says time to make this podcast interactive. So when I say all my wrong thing and call a wrong name, somebody could tell more is your right thing. And I think you're right. I'm looking into some ideas where I could do that. Because one thing I appreciate a lot about this podcast is that it is not done when I finish record. Because when I finish record, especially if the thing controversial enough, I know I'm going to get a call from a man like Al during the course of the week, or a man like QB or Hinkson. Somebody going to call, man. We're going to talk about what we say in the episode and why they disagree and so on. And what I appreciate more than anything else is the quality of listenership that I've been able to build. And to be honest, without a whole lot of effort on my part, because I don't like the social media part, I'm not good at it. I don't like having to share it and thing and remind people to this. And I just want to come and talk about the issues, get some little kicks, play some calypso and leave. But they have some people who just stick with me through this whole thing, and 100 is a long time. I was telling Mills yesterday too that 1 to 90 was easier than 90 to 100. 90 to 100 was hard. Plenty of weeks it nearly had no episode, but I feel at the point now where I feel obligated to make sure that no matter what, no matter how boring I find the topics are during the course of the week, or how busy I am at work or family or any other thing, whether I'm traveling or on vacation, whether I'm going to do surgery. Last week was a stretch because it's my sister, because under any normal circumstances, I was not putting out an episode last week. I had the Achilles problem or rupture. And Monday, I'm not in pain, right? But my foot feeling heavy and it feeling dead. And I studying how to do the surgery the next day. But I feel obligated to folks to put it out every week. I know how it feel when my favorite podcast not there when I'm looking for it on a morning. So I don't like to put people in that position. So even if I miss a Tuesday, I on it Wednesday or Thursday, even if it's Friday. Sometimes, and Friday recording is a hard thing. I will tell Oli, because when you see a record on a Friday and you talk about everything, it had nothing to talk about the next Tuesday when you go and record because you don't talk out all the issues already, so it's be a struggle. But it's something that I love doing. I really appreciate the fact that anybody listening at all. If one person listening, I will always continue to do it. That one person might be me. But for as long as I hear, I'm going to continue to do it. And I appreciate all the support. I appreciate Stacey and Mommy for getting me to stop and take a moment. Mills for passing through and blessing me with some bottles and, you know what I mean? Making this a nice little drunken episode under alcohol and tramadol is a great combination. And I'm a producer, listener. I'm not going to pour this episode. I'm telling you all now. I don't usually tell you all what time I'm recording, but this is now 11:30 on Tuesday, May 31st. But I'm not putting out this episode till my boy wake up. When he wake up, I'd let him come and say his part and say his piece and say his thanks and everything too, because I could not do this without Zachary. Zachary has been enormously helpful as a contributor to the podcast. I want to tell you also that a day he tell me I'm going to be a news producer. And from that day, he started gathering little news stories in his book. So a lot of times with the overseas news especially, he's come and tell me, hey, you had to talk about this, you had to talk about that. Cardi B, this guy. You know what I mean? And sometimes I tell him, well, boy, that's not my audience. And most times I'll go with what he say and it works out and he's come here. And a lot of times when you're not here anymore, you're not seeing him, he in the room. Sometimes he have homework to do one thing I want to get anywhere that, but lots of times he in the room here, he taking notes, he telling me my eye this be close too much, why I just had to be swinging my head like this all the time, you know what I mean? So I could not get through those episodes without him at all. So I'll make sure that he is a part of this episode. I couldn't put it out without him. And I see my good wife come through. Only because liquor, you know, thanks to Mills. If I didn't know liquor, she would not come in here because I'm telling you. If you go back to conversations, must be 2 years ago, and you find Stacey Villarreal as my wife, listen to that episode, and you will see that was the last time she was in this room. But she makes sure and be here as for part of the 100th, and whether she here or not, she's an extremely important part of this coming out every week because she allows me to stay here till they had many nights I was up till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning still trying to record because I can't figure out the technology. I do an episode and I deleted by mistake. I do a whole episode and I wasn't recording, problems, and I up late in the night editing, and she never make a fuss about it. She never, you know, some people might say, gosh, you're just studying this thing ain't making no money. What is doing for you? All you studying this podcast. She never one day say none of that, and she's listened to all the episodes and come and give me some feedback too. And one person I know who listening through to the end is her, because she might come and say, listen, you're doing this too much. Why are you saying this about that? This, you know what I mean? And always give me the encouragement that no matter how much it look like, I ain't going to end up like Cassius. No matter how much time and money I spend behind this, she ain't making no fuss and thing yet. So let me see how it go. But I appreciate the help with that on these 100 episodes. And too much names to call, but I appreciate everybody for being a part of this journey. And I want to play this song that I start with to close off this episode. As a matter of fact, I'm playing 2 songs. My 100th episode and I done here, and the pain done here already. So, as a matter of fact, forget that. Tambu was the song, right? But I'm a little tight and all. I had to bear with me here. It's not this is not sobriety. The song I want to leave you with is particularly for the people who tune into this and look forward to it all the time, and whose message and gangster me. Even when the episode recorded, sometimes there's gangster me when they ask about the episode. Oh, you call me and you're talking to me very rough, but maybe you need to just refresh your Apple Podcast or check your YouTube subscription or wherever it is, because it's out. Everybody done listen already. What happened? But I just want to dedicate this song to people, not just people who would have listened from first episode, but people who, whenever they found this and they came on, they've been loyal to it. And I'll tell you all as well that every week I look at all the numbers of people who listen to the podcast, and I'm always surprised that they have people who every single week in Germany who tune in. I appreciate that. Every week somebody in Italy is tuning in. One person, Ireland, yeah, somebody tuning in all the time. And of course in UK, Canada, the States, and Trinidad being the biggest numbers. I want to say thanks to everybody. And whenever you tune in and you stick with us, this one is for you.
All on we is day one. We fretting since day one. From night till the day come. We under the same sun. Jump up with your day one. Don't stop we if rain come. We all in the stadium. Drinking from the same rum. Hey, if you take a knife and you cut my skin, I'll show you go see. We share the same blood. Yeah. All are we coming from different ends. Look deep in your history. We from the same cloth. Don't tell me about you more blessed than me. Take away everything and then tell me who you'll be. Take a drink with me. It don't matter where you're from. All are we is one. Put up your hand because we is more than friends. Jump up, we is more than friends. More precious than gold and gem. We tight like a wedding ring. I say we is more than friends. All are we is more than friends. Together like ink and pen. We closer than 9 and 10. All are we is day one.
Some other people that I want to make sure I salute on this 100th episode is people who will partake, how is it called them, partakers, who also appeared on this podcast multiple times. People like Neola, Mr. Shaq, Michael, Nick Dean, my father. You know what I mean? So many people who pass through this, and of course, people who are contributors behind the scene who never say a word on this podcast. I've been such integral parts of it. So I salute my guy Tony Chumley. I was going to say Tony Montana, you know, become a head pad, who has organized everything for me from the website and just advice on a sounding board, and he forced me to do videos. So anybody who wants to say anything about why I'm on video, I have a few people who are responsible for that. Ryan Ramchandani and Tony Chumley is who are responsible for me being on video, despite how much I didn't want to do it. And men like Kevin Farrah Kingston, so much. It's just too much names to call. So this song is for all of us.
Day one, we fretting since day one. From night till the day come. We under the same sun. Jump up with your day one. Bust up we if rain come. We all in the stadium. Drinking from the same rum. We all am in one blood. Same clothes. One love. We all am in I bless. You bless. We bless.
They want more blessed than me. So listen, I'm leaving all on that note, and I don't go and pop my foot and take my tramadol. I hope this work out for the best. But just like 100, I'm looking forward to 101, and I will see you all in next week. Bye. All right, well, sorry, I couldn't end the episode without bringing in my good producer partner who helped me get through these 100 episodes and keep me honest, making sure I record, making sure I have things to talk about. You have anything you want to say for the 100th episode, pal?
I just want to say I do not get any extra compensation for this.
You might want to say, like, congratulations, how hard it was doing all these 100 episodes and all that. So more compensation.
More money.
Boy, whatever. How's school going?
Good.
You see, after he fall asleep last night before I started recording the episode, that is why he ended up down in the end. I thought he'd be up and we could have knocked a glass and celebrate, but he mother do enough glass knocking. But how so you say school going good so far? You enjoying being in-person school? Everybody waiting to hear from me about how school was going, you know?
School going good. I just kind
You're talking to the mic. This is called a microphone.
I just kind of said I can't play outside and I had to wear the mask all day.
That's a little hard to wear.
Yeah.
You all still don't have any afternoon break? It's just morning break?
It's morning break, lunch break, and that's it for break.
That's why you're hungry every evening after I pick you up?
Yes.
So you can't wait for this term to finish?
Yeah, and I'm always hungry.
Yeah, you're always hungry. I'm glad you know that. So you have a song that you say you sing. So part of the thing in the beginning of this term, he had a song to sing. And I'm trying to get him here to sing this song here outside the frame. So I'm trying to get him here to sing this song for the longest while. You want to get him a little verse of the song before I play it? Yes, that's all. Let me hear.
Education, education, this is the foundation. Our rising population needs sound education to be recognized anywhere you go. You must have your certificates to show to enjoy any kind of happiness. Knowledge is the key to success.
Children go to school
And learn well. Otherwise, later on in life, you go catch real hell.
Without an education.
Education in your head. Your whole life will be pure misery.
It's a microphone.
Dead.
Right. For there is simply no room
in this whole wide world
for an uneducated little boy or girl
Don't let idle companions
to lead you astray.
To earn tomorrow, you got to learn today.
Alright, go and go to school before your mother kill you. Bye-bye. Have a good day.
Education, this is the foundation. Our rising population needs sound education. To be recognized anywhere you go, you gotta have your certificate to show. To enjoy any kind of happiness,
Yes.
knowledge is the key to success. Children go to school and learn well. Otherwise, later on in life, you gon' catch real hell. Without an education in your head, your whole life will be pure misery. You're better off dead. For there is simply no room in this whole wide world for an uneducated little boy or girl. Don't allow idle companions to lead you astray. To earn tomorrow, you got to learn today. For employment, yes, employment, you must be intelligent. So it's essential, very essential, to have your credentials. But if you're blockheaded like a mule, remember no one will employ a fool. You will be the last one to be hired, and the very first one to be fired. Children go to school and learn well. Otherwise, later on in life, you gon' catch real hell. Without an education in your head, your whole life will be pure misery. You're better off dead. For there is simply no room in this whole wide world for an uneducated little boy or girl. Don't follow idle companions, or you will get burned. To earn, you got to learn.
Pam 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 bim pam pam bim pam pam pam. Padam pam bim padu pam pam padam pam 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 pidi die die. Pam pada pam 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 pam. Bim bibidim. Right, I got my boy in on the last episode, on the 100th episode. So this time I will see you all next week. Bye.